Howdy, Toma here. I figured I would give you guys a final update on the car, how the project went, lessons learned, like just an overall summary, how it turned out. So, as you can see, I already fixed everything. I finished the job. I didn't make a video how to spray paint stuff. I'm gonna also tell you what kind of supplies I used, the final math, was it worth it, would I do it again, things like that. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now. This is the door that I replaced. Again, this came from a junkyard. The color is pretty close. The strip is me. I'm gonna show you how I did that. The door is original and the quarter panel was cut like right here. It's not horrible, as you can see. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the Bondo. I just did it roughly, but it's not horrible, to be honest with you. If I spent 2 more hours, I could have done it like to OEM specs and you wouldn't be able to see anything. So again, it was cut all the way here. This is brand new panel, and this is cut from here all the way down. So this is brand new panel. This is all welded in. So this is the panel goes underneath the bumper, so it's cut right here and then it goes up behind the tank. So like this line, it's not bad. So the door, it's not perfect. You kind of have to whack it a little bit. That's the gap. For some reason the panel was slightly off the new panel. I got it off from a car that's a different year, so I had to split it and do some adjustments there. So I mean, it works, it doesn't leak. People say that it passes the 10-foot test. So these are some of the supplies. This is the sealant I used inside the wheel housing in there. So you can see that this is that rubberized seal. Advanced parts. I managed to get the matching color, so you can read the color of the car from either underneath the hood. There's a sticker, or at the door. Took a few phone calls, but I managed to get it. In Austin there was one bottle of that, the clear coat. I bought something off the shelf. You can see that the color or the sheen is different a little bit. So that's one thing. I wish I bought that from Amazon, something that's truly glossy and nice and smooth. This is the self-etching primer I used, again, off the shelf. Nothing super fancy. I just used Rust-Oleum for the strip. For the strip, I used this 1.5 millimeter strip between the lines. So you apply it as a tape, and on the outside I use regular measuring tape. I masked it and I used Rust-Oleum to paint it a green color. It's not horrible, to be honest with you. This is where it ties in. So this is original to the right, and this is all me to the left. The door that I bought from the junkyard didn't have it, so I had to do the whole door. It's pretty good. One more thing I had to do here. This ledge didn't line up, again, for some reason, maybe the 1 year off thing. So I had to do some modifications with a Dremel tool. But yeah, that's I had to basically lower it. You can see that I did some welding here to lower it. So now it keeps it in a nice spot. You can see based on this line that it's all one continuous line. So that's what I used as a guide for myself. So Yeah, as far as the math goes, I was super lucky because I managed to find all the parts from a junkyard. I couldn't find it. You know, OEM, this quarter panel is new, the inside panel is new. If you buy that brand new for a newer car, they probably have it, but it's $1,200. It's not cheap. So the whole thing just for the panels would have been the two panels for like $2,400, which is ridiculous, just the part. So from a junkyard, I spent $50 on those. So it was nothing. The door was $90. You know, supplies, miscellaneous item, probably $50. So I spent maybe $200 on material. I had a buddy who had a really nice MIG welder. I borrowed that. If you don't have it, you have to buy it. It's $1,500. So overall, I bought that pulley that one of my videos showed, that power pulley system. That was $90. The clamp was $30. So you're not talking about a whole lot of money for parts. It's mainly tools. So and hourly. So yeah, that's another thing. So I spent about 40 hours doing this. If you take it to a shop, they would probably get it done, I don't know, 30, maybe 35 hours. They would probably spend more time doing, you know, the finishing touches, get a better paint job, a paint booth, you know, stuff like that. So I think it would be, the labor would be at least $4,000. You would spend at least $3,000 on parts because you buy brand new. They don't go to junkyards and they don't cut it out from junk cars. So you're looking at around $7,000 if you hire somebody to do this for you. So that's pretty much the biggest takeaway. I think this is a $2,000 car. I spent, okay, $200 on parts, but I spent a lot of time getting this done. I would still do it again because I really like this car. It's extremely reliable. And another thing, if you go to a junkyard, the junkyard I went to, they had 8 identical or similar cars. So you can get parts for these cars from a junkyard. So it's, if you have a fancy, rare car, you're not going to have that. So that's another thing you probably have to consider when you buy a car. If you get into a wreck and you want parts from a junkyard, way cheaper and easier to get those parts for a common car like this. So yeah, these are the lessons. I would do it again. It was a super fun project. I never pulled a frame, or not a frame, but body parts before. So yeah, one thing I'm still struggling with is the wheel cover. But yeah, I had to replace the panels because the new door was all different. The glass was slightly different. So I pulled that out from the previous car. These things didn't get damaged in the accident, so I was super lucky. I fixed a lot of issues with this door that I had before. So it was a good thing that I took it apart and I fixed all that. So you can see that, yeah, when you sit inside, there's really no telling. Yeah, you have to whack the door a little bit, but it works. So yeah, I hope that you learned something and you're gonna take a risk a little bit if you have an accident like this and you do it yourself, you fix it yourself. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.